and we're going to be talking a little bit of mountain biking on a hand cycle. Now, that might sound a little bit crazy, but trust us, it's not. It's a fantastic story, and joining us in the studio is going to be Andrew Ladawi for our next sport, and we're not quite sure how we should be categorising it, because we're going to be talking mountain biking, but on a hand cycle, hence you need hands. And we're very pleased to have in the studio with us now. He is also, we should mention, one of the Perth Wheelcats, and that is Andrew Ladawi. Andrew, welcome.
Thanks for having me on, guys.
That's good. I mean, how would you describe what you do? Is it hand cycle mountain biking?
It's pretty much just a hand cycle, and you take it off-road, and there's just been some minor adjustments to the design and the way you sit into it, and it's made pretty much for taking off-road from a sealed surface to something that's rough, a bit of dirt, a bit of gravel, and I've even seen some of them take jumps and log rolls as well.
Minor adjustment. That thing, this picture is an absolute beast. It must cost a fortune.
Yes, you're looking about $9,000, the one you're looking at. There are some made in the US which are slightly cheaper, but just not as made for the ruggedness of off-road.
Can we take you back a step? Because before you had your accident, you were really into mountain biking, and that's where you ended up in a wheelchair, wasn't it?
Yes, that's right. Prior to my accident, probably 5 years, I was a keen cyclist in general. I used to use it for commuting as well as recreational. And then I really got serious into the mountain biking when I went over to Queensland, where I met a great bunch of mates over there, and they just introduced me to more friends, and just the facilities over there in Queensland are just more catering for mountain biking. And that's when I, took it really seriously. Unfortunately, that didn't last too long, and I had my accident back in 2008 where I broke my back, T10, which has left me paralysed from the waist down.
Did you know when you landed that it was pretty damn bad then?
Yes, straight away. With mountain biking, we tend to, have a few slips and slides here and there, and you tend to just get back on your bike and off you go again. And part of that is you just got a lot of blood, pumping through you, a lot of adrenaline going through you as well. But, as soon as I hit the ground, and I literally just hit the ground, I didn't bounce or roll or anything like that, I knew something was wrong. My brain was telling me, get up and go, repetitively, and my body wasn't going. My mind was 10 metres in front of me, but, the body wasn't going. And, fortunately, I had two of my friends behind me, and I just turned around to them and said, call an ambulance. And, it didn't register to me at the time, the exact point, that I actually had broken my back. And even when the paramedics came and assessed me, I do remember one of them calling over the radio saying, we have a 23-year-old male mountain biking accident with a protrusion in his middle back. And even then, I didn't realise, I didn't add one and one together. So, a long learning process after that.
The thing I find amazing in your story is that even though you've got heavily involved in wheelchair sports, as we mentioned, you're an active part of the Perth Wheelcats, you've still this burning thing to get back out there on the sort of mountain bike tracks.
There's this kick that you get out of mountain biking, which you can't really get on a flat surface, i.e., basketball court. I've tried track racing. I've also tried hand cycling on the road. And that's just something that I'm not getting out of it. And really, it comes down to just being out there in the nature, out with the hills, out with the gravel, and just really carving it up there.
So are there other people doing what you're trying to do now, or have you kind of been pushing the boundaries that little bit further?
Not in Australia, unfortunately, and that's the thing I really want to bring to Australia is the off-road hand cycling. And hand cycling on-road is well established. It's in the Paralympics, been around for many years now.
Silver medalist Nigel Barley here in Perth.
Yes, so I'm trying to rope him into a bit of off-road action. He seems pretty keen on it, but we'll see how we go. But over in countries such as Spain, Poland, France even, off-road hand cycling is it's pretty big over there, to the point where they've actually got competitions specific to adaptive equipment.
Andrew, I'm glad you're in here because you can see why I'm not a mountain biker. Now, I've never mountain biked in my life, and I have absolutely no desire to. I think the whole centre of gravity thing is against me. But I would imagine the tracks that are used by mountain bikers generally in Perth or around Australia might not necessarily accommodate to the type of bike that you need to use. Have you found it hard finding places you can do this, or is it getting easier?
No, you're bang on right there. That is one of the biggest things that we pointed out straight away, these hand cycles are just over a metre wide, and a lot of these single tracks that you do get around the mountains, we're talking about literally a single track which is about 20 to 30 centimetres wide. So to get something 1 metre on there is physically impossible. And there are trails out there, and one of the training grounds which I will start on is the Railway Heritage Trail, which runs around Mundaring area. And that's a 41-kilometre stretch. It's a loop, which is a great thing to train on, and that's a very wide, old sort of railway that's been converted into a walkway.
You mentioned training there, because you've got a mission ahead of you, haven't you? Do you want to share that with our listeners?
Yeah, I can sort of let the cat out on that. Initially, I was planning on completing the Munda Trail, which runs from Albany to Mundaring, and that's 1,000 kilometres, a little bit over. Unfortunately, a lot of that trail, again, as we just mentioned, is very narrow, and it's physically impossible to get a hand cycle through that section of track. So we're looking at this point, completing large sections of the Munda Biddy. One of those biggest sections is about 82 kilometres, and to put that in perspective, that will probably take me about 3-4 full days to complete.
Goodness.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. That's amazing.
And are you trying to sort of raise money for this, or because I saw something, can you, again, how people, if they're hearing your story and they want to get involved?
Initially, I started using a hand cycle from someone who recently had a bike accident as well. His name's Daniel. He's been kind enough to let me use it for a few months. I've returned that back to him, and I'm currently not riding anything at the moment, so I figured, I should raise some funds for Wheelchair Sports to purchase one. And rather than me raising funds for myself to have my own equipment, I'd actually like to share that with the people out there in the community who have physical disabilities to actually use this equipment, learn it out for a few weeks, or maybe, me go out to them with the hand cycle, get them on it, give them a bit of a shot and a bit of a feel of what it's like to see if they're interested in it. So I've been trying to raise funds since about February, and I've almost hit my target of going for 7,000, and I'll be putting quite a bit of my own money into that as well. And again, that will be property of Wheelchair Sports for any of the members to use.
But if you're going to do this seriously, and you said there's competition in Europe, there's going to come a point where you're going to have to get your own one, isn't there? Because, if other people want to borrow it at Wheelchair Sports, it's going to be hard for you to do your training. Yeah,
at this point, I'm more than happy to just share something with the people out there. And I will be, I guess, the initial person to be, really putting it through the grinder. But yeah, it will come to a point where I will have my own equipment, and hopefully by then these things would have become a lot lighter and maybe a little bit narrower. The equipment might have advanced by then. So,
and is it a case, as Ryan touched on there, with the trails being limited here, are you going to be maybe talking to some of the land management people and saying, hey, look, if we want to make this, and this is a great opportunity, can we make the paths a little bit wider?
I'm in touch with a few people, in particular WAMBA, West Australian Mountain Biking Association, and they've got ties with Australian Mountain Biking Association as well. And these are the guys who have volunteer-based community groups that go out and build these trails. And really, it just comes down to education. No one is aware that we need these trails, a metre wide to cater for a hand cycle. So it's really up to me and other guys using chairs that want to get into this to really push for that and just bring that awareness up to the point where we can, tailor these trails.
We've had on this show the event that they have down in Busselton, that Cape to Cape mountain bike trial. Are their trails any good for you or not?
Not too sure. There's just so many trails out there, and I'm slowly compiling a list of trails coming from websites, but also from first-hand accounts of people who've done trails around Western Australia.
And I guess it's the type of sport too, I would imagine, having never done it. I would imagine it's the type of sport that you don't want to get 3/4 of the way down a path and realise that it's, just 3 centimetres too narrow for your 1 metre bike.
There's a lot more planning than you would need on a normal bike. We are limited to maps and, getting footage, photos and video footage and that. So, but there's a lot of people out there in the community that are happy to put a GoPro on their helmet and then go through these trails. And that's really a great indication, of the sport out there, but a great indication of, what we're actually the elements that we're dealing with out there.
So are you asking for volunteers to do that? Because, again, obviously, if people want to volunteer to put a GoPro so you can see some of these trails.
Most of these riders do it by themselves. It's just a matter of finding people people, finding where they've stored these videos, whether it's on YouTube or on their websites or whatever.
But if they want to contact you, if they've got that, you've got the website now, haven't you, yep. Which is breaktheboundary.com.
Yes, Break the Boundary, B-R-E-A-K, not the other break. And I've got all my contact details down there. People can donate through the website on the donate menu. People can contact me by email or through the Facebook page as well.
And again, you can tell I've never done it because I was thinking the same thing. I thought, if you had people going down, but you've mentioned the GoPro and videoing it, I was thinking more of a stick on the front of the bike, a metre wide, which of course would be ridiculous. So I'm so glad you've come up with a better idea.
Just stick the spoke, through the spokes. You can have that big stick going around.
Yeah, and
it's like a chariot in Ben Hur, wasn't it? He had those things sticking out. But one of the things I was going to say about that as well is, looking at the bike you're on, you're leaning forward, you're pedalling with your hands. So, did they flip? Because I
haven't flipped it yet. Let's hope I don't.
It would be pretty hairy, because some of those mountain trails are pretty steep.
Yeah, riding mountain bike for about 5 years and comparing it with this, you got a lot lower centre of gravity. You've got a wider wheelbase as well, both in length and width. So you're a lot more stable, and I've actually noticed that you can take corners a lot harder as well, a lot sharper, and having better control. And the shockies that they've got on these things are just amazing. So, you'd have to be doing some really stupid things to flip yourself over, in which case, call the ambulance again.
I'm getting scared just thinking about you doing it, let alone actually doing it myself.
Don't jinx me, guys.
No. Do you find, obviously legs, arms completely different, but three wheels causing traction as well.
Yes.
And the amount of strain it must put on your arms would be huge.
Yeah, this is the second generation with the 3 wheels. Previously they were 4 wheels and a lot heavier as well, so they've come a long way in the last few years. It took me about 2-3 weeks to get used to it in terms of shoulder strength, but also the chest, because you're laying down on a chest plate as well. It puts a lot of strain. You're trying to breathe in, you're trying to bring oxygen in chest, and that chest plate is literally just pushing air back out of you. So it took about 2-3 weeks to get into the right comfort zone and really start pushing it. And it's like any sport, over a period of time, you just get used to it.
I love on the website you've got that, my name is Andrew and I hate the word impossible.
Yeah.
Were you like that before the accident, or has it been since then?
I was very introvert, especially during my high school years. And during high school, I hated sports with a passion. But something happened to me when I got into university. There's a very big sporting culture, and I studied engineering and science, double degree there, and something about engineers and sport, and I guess drinking as well, but we won't talk about that too much. But I really got involved in that, and I started playing a bit of indoor soccer for 3 years, taekwondo for 3 years, got to my black belt. And then, just the cycling. So I was very leg orientated, I guess. It's a complete opposite now. But, I don't know what really happened. I think it was more of just that community that really inspired me to just be more active.
There was a lady we had on the show, and John will remember, she was a paraplegic from basketball. Someone fell on her and broke her back. And she had taken part in the World Surfing Championships. She's also rowed across the Indian Ocean and the Atlantic Ocean. And she was saying that she didn't like the word disabled. She said, I'm differently abled. And I've just read that, and when you said you hate the word impossible, it seems to me that this is certainly no barrier, is it?
No.
It's just opened up a new world.
It's another challenge, and I think with a lot of us guys with disabilities, we just look for a big challenge, find that thing that people would call impossible and just prove them wrong. And I'm doing this to prove other people wrong, but more so for myself to prove that I can do it, and it's a big thing to, tell myself that I can do it.
Is there also a little added buzz of literally being a trailblazer? Being sort of one of the first to be doing this and really leading the way?
Yeah, that's a bit of part of it. I would like to take a bit of that glory. But then again, I've kind of taken the approach that, I previously was always like, I'll always wait for someone else to come along and do something, but now it's that point, I'm not going to wait for someone to come along and do the first thing. I can be that person. I believe in myself and the support team around me as well.
Andrew, it's been great talking to you tonight. We really do appreciate you coming in, and what we'd like to do is obviously stay in touch with you, find out how it's going, and have you back and find out what's going on. If people want to donate to a great cause, the website is Break the Boundary, BREAK, theboundary.com. Is it .com.au? Or
just .com.
Just
nice
.com, yep. And get involved there, and even if you want to send in your videos or your GoPro footage of the trails you've ridden to help Andrew work out which ones people can do on a hand cycle. It's a fantastic story, and thanks again for coming in, and good luck with the Wheelcats this weekend.
Lot, yeah. See you Saturday.
You will indeed.
Thanks,
This is Sugar Ray Leonard, and you listen to Not the Footy Show.
You are listening to Not the Footy Show. We really are on the final straight now. We have about 3 minutes to remain and get through our usual end of the show segment. But that was Andrew Ladawi. And just a reminder, once again, if you want to get behind his project, I think it's a fantastic one. And that is breaktheboundary.com. And you can just, any small donation will certainly help him get that hand cycle that will be shared by everyone at Wheelchair Sports WA. And who knows, maybe there's a maybe there's a sponsor out there might want to buy Andrew one so he can actually be the trailblazer he wants to be.
Absolutely.
It's not much, $9,000. Sure, there's a mining company that can chuck that money in.
Absolutely.
And they can probably provide the equipment to widen the trails enough for you too.
There you go.
Okay, time for the Gold Awards, and we're going to have to whiz through these. Well, I'm going to nominate then Andrew Ladawi for getting off his butt and trying to find money for this hand cycle for everyone to benefit at Wheelchair Sports WA.
What website do they need to go to?
Breaktheboundary.com.